Howdy hey, welcome back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now move on to Mickey's Magical Christmas Snowed-In at the House of Mouse, which came out in 2001. So let's get to know this cast. Wayne Allwyn was Mickey Mouse. Russi Taylor was Minnie Mouse. Tony Alzamo was Donald Duck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Tress MacNeille was Daisy Duck, Chip, and Dale. Bill Farmer was Goofy, Pluto, and Practical Pig. Jeff Bennett was Lumiere. Jody Benson was Ariel. Robbie Benson was the Beast. Corey Burton was Ludwig von Drake. Gus, Grumpy, and the Mad Hatter. Eddie Carroll was Jiminy Cricket. Pat Carroll was Ursula. John Cleese was the narrator for the Nutcracker story. Peter Cullen was Eeyore. Jonathan Freeman was Jafar. Jennifer Hale was Cinderella. J.P. Mannix was Cusco. Mark Mosley was Mushu. Paige O'Hara was Belle. Rob Paulson was Jacques. Ernie Sabella was Pumbaa. Kevin Schon was Timon. Michael Welch was Pinocchio. April Winchell was Mother Von Drake. Rick Logan was Aladdin and the Chorus. Bobby Page was Jasmine and the Chorus. And Blaine Weaver was Peter Pan. But hold on, what's special about this movie is that we have some archive footage of some of the previous cast who have voiced some of the characters in the past. So we have archive footage of Jimmy McDonald as Mickey Mouse, Clarence Nash as Donald Duck, Hal Smith as Goofy, Patricia Paris as Daisy Duck, Alan Young as Scrooge McDuck, and Will Ryan as Pete and Willie the Giant. Now we move on to the facts all about Mickey's Magical Christmas Snowed-In at the House of Mouse. Number 1, the backstory. This is a direct spin-off from the Disney Channel animated TV series House of Mouse. If anybody who grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, you will know Disney Channel's House of Mouse series, and they seriously need to put this series on Disney Plus because this was such an amazing, iconic show. This is where you could go and watch old school and new Mickey Mouse and other cast members' cartoons. This needs to come onto Disney Plus because this is an amazing series. This movie takes place during the second season of the series. Also, the backstory is that the House of Mouse had just had its Christmas show. Everybody's ready to go home. And then because of a big snowstorm, everybody, and I mean everybody in Disney history, is literally snowed in at the House of Mouse. That's the club. And in spite of being snowed in, everybody's trying to stay positive and optimistic. But then you have Donald Duck being a complete grump. Seriously, when is Donald Duck ever happy? Anyway, so Mickey is trying to cheer up Donald Duck with different cartoons and different segments. And eventually, I don't want to spoil the movie, but this movie also needs to come onto Disney Plus because this is an amazing movie. This movie and also the second movie that they did based on the House of Mouse, Disney's House of Villains. Number 2, the cartoons. We have 4 cartoons playing throughout this movie. We have Donald on Ice, which came out in 1999. Pluto's Christmas Tree, which came out in 1952. The Nutcracker, which came out in 1999. And Mickey's Christmas Carol, which came out in 1983. So let's give a backstory to what each of these cartoons is about. So the first cartoon, Donald on Ice. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are building a snowman for the big snowman contest, but Donald's skating mishaps destroys their first attempt, so they immediately retaliate. And by retaliate, I mean they bury their Uncle Donald in a huge heap of snow and a big snowball fight commences. The second cartoon is Pluto's Christmas Tree. It's a Mickey Mouse cartoon in which Pluto and Mickey cut down a Christmas tree that Chip and Dale happen to live in. It was the 125th short in the Mickey Mouse film series to be released, and the second for that year. While the Chipmunks are usually antagonists for Donald Duck, they have pestered Pluto before in Private Pluto, which came out in 1943, Squatters' Rights, which came out in 1946, and Food for Feuding, which came out in 1950. The next cartoon is The Nutcracker, when Maria, that's played by Minnie Mouse, is captured by the Mouse King, which is played by Donald Duck. I'm sorry, it's the funniest thing ever. Her beloved Nutcracker doll turns into a handsome Prince Mickey and rescues her from becoming the Mouse Queen. This familiar story is told by a comical narrator with big band versions of the familiar Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker music. And the final cartoon is Mickey's Christmas Carol. It is the American animated Christmas fantasy featurette directed and produced by Bernie Mattinson. This cartoon is a version of the Charles Dickens 1843 book, A Christmas Carol, and stars Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge. Many other Disney characters, primarily from the Mickey Mouse universe, as well as Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio, and characters from The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad and Robin Hood, were cast throughout the entire film. The featurette was produced by Walt Disney Productions and released by Buena Vista Distribution on December 16, 1983, with the reissue of The Rescuers, which came out in 1977. In the United States, it was first aired on television on NBC on December 10th, 1984. Number 3, the characters in this movie. Now, when I said that every Disney character got snowed in at the House of Mouse, I don't mean every single Disney character got snowed in at the House of Mouse. I'm talking about some of the characters from the Disney movies from 2001 and before. Majority of them have been seen at the House of Mouse throughout the years. And I'm going to read this list that I've got. So we'll start off with the classic Disney cartoons. We had Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Goofy, Pluto, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Ludwig von Drake, Chip and Dale, Mortimer Mouse, Mama von Drake, Humphrey the Bear, Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore, The Three Little Pigs, The Big Bad Wolf, Hobo Cookie and Judge Cookie from the Cookie Carnival, and Professor Owl. Now, for the true Disney fans who know what Professor Owl did, Professor Owl was the host of majority of the Disney sing-along videos that came out in the 90s. Next, characters come from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We had Snow White, Doc, Grumpy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Bashful, Happy, Dopey, the Evil Queen, and the Magic Mirror. From Pinocchio, we had Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, Geppetto, and Stromboli. From Fantasia, we had Hyacinth Hippo, Ben Alligator, the Magic Brooms, and Yen Sid. From Dumbo, we had Dumbo and Timothy Mouse. From Bambi, we had Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. From Saludos Amigos, the Three Caballeros, and Melody Time, we had Joe Carioca. And from the Three Caballeros, we also had Panchito Pistols. From Fun and Fancy Free, we had Willie the Giant. From Songs of the South, we had Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Rabbit. From Cinderella, we had Cinderella, Jacques, Gus, the Birds, the Mice, Perla, and Mary Mouse, and Susie. From Alice in Wonderland, we had Alice, the White Rabbit, the Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Queen of Hearts, King of Hearts, Bread and Butterflies, and the Flamingo. From Peter Pan, we had Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Wendy, John, Michael, and Captain Hook. From Lady and the Tramp, we had Lady and Tramp. From Sleeping Beauty, we had Aurora, Prince Philip, and Maleficent. From 101 Dalmatians, we had Pongo, Perdita, and the Colonel. From The Sword and the Stone, we had Merlin and Madame Mim. From Mary Poppins, we had the Penguin Waiters. From The Jungle Book, we had Mowgli, Baloo, King Louie, and Kaa. From Robin Hood, we had Little John and the Sheriff of Nottingham. From The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, we had Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit, Eeyore, Kanga, Roo, Kessie, Christopher Robin, and Owl. But they didn't think to put Gopher in this movie? Come on. From The Rescuers, we had Madame Medusa. From Pete's Dragon, we had Elliot. From The Little Mermaid, we had Ariel, Prince Eric, and Ursula. From Beauty and the Beast, we had the Beast, Belle, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, Chip, and Fifi. From Aladdin, we had Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, the Magic Carpet, Jafar, and Iago. From The Lion King, we had Simba, Nala, Timon, Pumbaa, Rafiki, and Zazu. From Pocahontas, we had Miko and Governor Ratcliffe. From The Hunchback of Notre Dame, we had Hugo, Victor, and Laverne. From Hercules, we had Hercules, Meg, Hades, Pain, and Panic. From Mulan, we had Mulan, Mushu, and Kriki. And from The Emperor's New Groove, we had Cusco. Number 4, bonus facts. Certain scenes in the House's segments are recycled from episodes of the show. Parts of Mickey Mouse on the Street interviews were taken from Clarabelle's Christmas List and Pete's Christmas Caper. Von Drake's The Science of Santa speech was reused from Pete's Christmas Caper. Cinderella, Eeyore, and Mushu saying what they're thankful for is taken from House of Turkey. The Mad Hatter's Ode to a Hat was recycled from the beginning of Mickey vs. Shelby. 2 of the crowd shots were used in subsequent episodes, beginning with Where's Minnie? Excluding the cartoons, the movie's framing animation is only about 23 minutes long, which is about the length of a regular episode. Donald is the only staff member not to wear a Santa hat, like his friends, due to his grouchiness of being snowed in. Max, Goof, Pete, Clarabelle, Cow, and Microphone Mike do not appear in the movie, but Pete and Clarabelle appear in Mickey's Christmas Carol. This is the only time in the series where a cartoon with a longer running time than the standard 6 to 12 minute runtime is shown. This is the only time in the series where Belle is voiced by her original voice actress Paige O'Hara. As in the series finale episode Mickey and the Culture Clash, she was voiced by Jodie Benson, who also voices Ariel. This was also the only time Lumiere was not voiced by his original voice actor Jerry Orbach prior to his death in 2004. This is the only time Jasmine is not voiced by her original voice actress Linda Larkin, nor her singing voice Lea Salonga, or Liz Calloway, who voiced her singing voice in the Aladdin sequels. Instead, vocal contractor Bobby Page voices Jasmine for the first and only time in this movie, providing her singing vocals in the musical number The Best Christmas of All, although Linda Larkin did reprise her role as Jasmine in the episode Ladies' Night. And there you have it, all the facts to Mickey's Magical Christmas Snowed-In at the House of Mouse. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.